In the Ottoman Empire, there was a man whose only job was to eat the Sultan's food before the Sultan did. He was paid better than most generals. He had over 1,000 colleagues at the palace alone, each one with a single, weirdly specific job. Most of those jobs are gone. Some never existed anywhere else. The Ottoman Empire employed people for jobs that, today, sound made up. Some were grand officers of state, some were tiny specialized crafts, some were ceremonial, some were dangerous. Almost none of them exist today. In any country, when an empire that complex falls, it takes its job descriptions with it. The buildings remain, the roles vanish. Today, 20 Ottoman jobs that no longer exist. Some that may sound familiar at first, until you find out what they actually did. If you like the strange corners of history, subscribe. Number 1. The Bostansi Basi, the chief gardener and chief executioner of the empire. Same job, same person, same office. Every aspect of palace gardens, fishing in the Bosphorus, and royal executions ran through this single official. He commanded 1,500 subordinates. Many were gardeners, some were not. Number 2. The Bashlat Latam, the keeper of the Sultan's cushions, a senior court position whose entire job was to arrange and replace the cushions in every room the Sultan might enter. Cushion arrangement was political. Certain colors signaled certain moods, certain heights signaled certain ranks of permitted visitors. Getting the cushions wrong could embarrass the Sultan in front of foreign ambassadors. This job came with a residence and a pension. Number 3. The Siladar Aga, the sword bearer, the official who personally carried the Sultan's sword behind him in all formal processions. He was one of the 4 most senior officials in the palace and had direct daily access to the Sultan. Many sultans, in their early years, were Siladar Agas under their predecessors. The job functioned as a training ground for emperors. Number 4. The Haz-Odali, the keeper of the Sultan's wardrobe. Hundreds of ornate robes, each worn only for specific occasions, had to be maintained, cleaned, repaired, and stored. The keeper supervised a staff of dozens of tailors and laundry specialists. The Ottoman court was so concerned with proper dress that the wardrobe was considered a security position. Clothes had to be inspected for hidden weapons or poison. Number 5. The Berber Bashi, the chief barber, one of the most trusted positions in the palace, a person who held a blade to the most important throat in the world every single day. The Berber Bashi was paid like a vizier. He was often a confidant of the Sultan and was sometimes called on for political advice. Number 6. The Beksi, the night watchman. The Ottomans had a city-wide network of Beksis who walked the streets banging iron-tipped staves throughout the night. Their banging signaled that all was well. If the banging stopped, the neighborhood would know something had happened. Beksis also called the time, alerted homes to fires, and watched for thieves. They were paid by the neighborhoods they walked. Number 7. The Muezzin. 5 times a day for over 1,000 years across the Islamic world, the Muezzin climbed the minaret to call the faithful to prayer. In the Ottoman Empire, the great mosques of Istanbul employed multiple muezzins who took shifts. The job required years of vocal training. A beautiful call to prayer was a point of civic pride. The job still exists today, but speakers have replaced minaret climbing in almost all cases. Number 8. The Suku, the water carrier. Before the modern water system, the Suku carried clean water through Istanbul's streets in copper tanks on their backs. Each Suku had a designated route and a network of regular customers. Some specialized in carrying water specifically for ritual washing before prayer. Others sold to thirsty workers in markets. The job survived into the early 1900s. Number 9. The Sherbetsi, the sherbet seller. Similar to the Suku, but selling sweet fruit drinks instead of water. Some Sherbetsis were small businesses. Others were employees of large drink makers. They had distinctive calls and distinctive costumes by neighborhood. Their walking routes were inherited like real estate. Some jobs were stranger than others. Number 10. The Mushafi Serif Yazisiligi, the official scribe of imperial Qurans. The Ottoman court commissioned ornate copies of the Quran as gifts for foreign rulers, for senior officials, and for the Sultan's personal use. Producing a single imperial Quran took years, and involved teams of master calligraphers, illuminators, and binders. The senior scribe of imperial Qurans was a position of immense religious prestige. Number 11. The Raisul Kutab, the chief of correspondence. The Ottoman state generated thousands of documents per day: imperial decrees, replies to provincial governors, treaties with foreign powers, edicts on tax policy, judicial rulings, religious opinions. The Raisul Kutab oversaw all of this. He effectively functioned as a foreign minister, although the formal title came later. Number 12. The master carpet weaver, specifically the carpet weavers who produced for the imperial court. Their carpets, some so large they took a team 5 years to complete, were diplomatic gifts, prayer carpets for major mosques, and floor coverings for the Sultan's personal apartments. Many imperial weavers were women. Some workshops were all female. The skill was passed mother to daughter. Number 13. The Sikabasi, the chief of the imperial mint. Coins were minted in Istanbul, in Cairo, in Aleppo, and in several other cities across the empire. The Sikabasi oversaw all of them. He set the gold and silver content, supervised the engravers who cut the dies, and personally vouched for the purity of every coin issued. Counterfeiting was a capital crime. The Sikabasi sometimes carried out the executions himself. Number 14. The Kamankasbazi, the chief of imperial archery. Even after gunpowder weapons dominated Ottoman warfare, the empire maintained an entire bureaucracy dedicated to ceremonial archery. Annual contests determined the best archer in the empire. Records were kept. Some long-distance shots from the 1700s remain among the longest documented arrow flights in history. The job ended when the empire did. Number 15. The Vakanuvis, the imperial historiographer, an official position whose holder was the only person authorized to write the empire's official history. The Vakanuvis attended royal events, recorded important decisions, edited the previous historian's drafts, and produced annual chronicles. The job was a prestigious one, but came with political risk. Writing a chronicle that displeased the next sultan could cost the historian his career. Number 16. The Sureyi Humayun officer, the official who organized the annual imperial caravan that carried gifts from the sultan to the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. The caravan included gold, food, religious texts, and elaborate textiles for the Kaaba itself. It traveled with armed escort across deserts. The position was both administrative and religious. The Suri commander was responsible for the safety, timeliness, and dignity of the most spiritually important convoy in the empire. Number 17. The Qadi, a judge with jurisdiction over both Islamic religious law and Ottoman state law. Each city and major town had a Qadi. He performed marriages, settled disputes, registered property transfers, oversaw inheritance, and judged criminal cases. The job is sometimes compared to a modern judge, but the Qadi's authority extended into commercial regulation, religious ruling, and family arbitration in ways no modern judge handles. The post survived the empire in modified form, but the original Qadi, the omnicompetent local authority, is gone. Number 18. The Mutasib, the market inspector. He had the authority to check every weight, measure, and price in every market in his jurisdiction. He could fine merchants for short-waiting customers. He could publicly humiliate fraudsters by parading them through the market on a donkey. He could ban a merchant from a market for life. The Mutasib was feared by every shopkeeper in Istanbul. Number 19. The Sebesibasi, the chief of the imperial armorer. The Sebesi Corps produced and maintained the personal weapons and armor of the Imperial Guard. They were a separate military unit from the Janissaries, although equally elite. The Sebesibasi was a senior officer who reported directly to the Sultan and was sometimes consulted on military procurement decisions for the entire empire. Number 20. The Mimarbasi, the chief imperial architect. He designed mosques, palaces, fortresses, and public works. The most famous Mimarbasi was Mimar Sinan, who designed over 300 buildings, many still standing. The position was hereditary in some periods, competitive in others. The Mimarbasi commanded an entire department of architects, engineers, and master craftsmen. When the empire fell, the buildings remained, but the office that designed them did not. The Ottoman Empire ran on more than 1,000 specialized roles. Some lasted for centuries, Some lasted for one sultan. Some were so specialized they could not be inherited, only learned over decades. When the empire fell, the jobs went with it, not because they were unnecessary. Many of them mattered enormously, but because no successor state needed that specific combination of skills, prestige, and ritual, all packaged into a single position. The buildings remain, the roles do not. If you want more empires the history books skip past, subscribe.